Hey, what's going on, everyone? Jarrell Solis with Confidence Pest Control. I just want to say thank you all so much for tuning in, listening to what I have to say. For all the new subscribers, I can't believe I've gotten to where we're at. But thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate it. All the love and support. Thank you all so much. And then I also want to say I do apologize for the break in the video. Life has just been lifing right now, you know. Easter was last weekend. I usually do my videos on Sundays, but it's just been crazy. I do have a lot of kind of B-roll footage. That's one thing. If you guys are interested in seeing something like that, I don't do the video editing. You know me. You know I turn the camera on and I talk. Excuse me, but I have a bunch of kind of B-roll footage of what I do on Sundays and kind of with my Ray-Bans, you know, it's like, hey, this is what I do to get ready for my week on Sunday. I don't do the editing, but if you would be interested in something like that, then I'll have my wife, we'll put together a video and upload that just so you can see you know, my truck set up. I've got the new deck system, so there's some new things that's kind of changed in my world. But if you're interested in that, let me know. I'm happy to make a video of all that, of the products that I'm using, the products. I mean, I keep it super simple. That's why I think it'd be a great video, and I have some footage of my truck, you know, my truck setup, and you know, who knows, maybe I'll work on that video today. But yeah, you know, I've got some B-roll footage, so if you guys are interested in some of those things, then I'm happy. It's like, hey, you know, I want to make the content. I want to have videos for you guys. So if you're interested, I'll do that. But a lot to catch up on. It's been a few weeks. So we just celebrated 2 years in business. I'm very thankful, so blessed to get to this point. We're at about 183 to 186 customers. We added some over the weekend. It was since like Friday morning, because I checked. Thursday morning was the last time I checked, but I know I've added a couple of I've added a couple of new customers to the system, and I'll be doing those services actually tomorrow. Well, yeah, if you're watching this, it'll be today, but I'm getting ready to do those. So we hit 2 years, we're almost at 200 customers. I had about 142 Google reviews, 5-star Google reviews. Grown the YouTube channel to about 519, something like that, subscribers, which is crazy. But we're slowly but steadily growing. I've got a guy that I'm getting ready to bring on board. I just told him, you know, I just want to make sure the time is right. And, you know, some of you guys have, maybe already have a guy, or maybe already have a team. Some of you guys are getting to that point where you want to bring on, you know, your first hire and stuff like that, or bring on a team. Know this, you know, I've been around the world, right? No, not really. I mean, I've gone to Iraq, but I've been around and I've worked for different companies, not just pest control, but I've done everything from, I was in the Marine Corps, which is all about leadership and, you know, certain things. I worked in the oil field. I've been a truck driver. I've worked for the cities. I've worked in doing different things. And the best leaders that you're around are the ones who take care of you. So if you guys are hiring somebody, or you're getting ready to bring on that first hire, make sure that, you know, that you can take care of them, because they are your priority. And so I want to bring my dude on board. I'm ready. He checks off. He has a lot of green flags. Checks off a lot of the things that I personally look for in, you know, in great teammates and hires and things like that. He checks off a lot of those things. So I'm excited. Yeah, I just want to make sure that I can take care of him, and, you know, make sure that he's good. he's got a fiance, a wife, soon to be wife, and they have a home. So I need to make sure that he's not going to lose his house if he decides to come work with me. He's going to give up a career that he's had for a few years, or for a few years now, and to come jump on and with my vision. And I love that he's willing to do that. So I need to make sure that he's well taken care of for that. So you as the entrepreneurs, us as the entrepreneurs, need to make sure that you can do that. I don't know if there's a specific number that you need to be at to be able to make that first hire. You know, that's a judgment call. At what point? Most owners or most people will tell you you need to get somebody on board once you start missing phone calls, once you start missing appointments, when stuff starts falling through the crack, is when you need to get people on board so that you get to help out with the load, right? I mean, I think that's right. I mean, me personally, I think that's don't lose the quality of your business with everything, from your service to your sales to all the interactions. You need to make sure that everything is very smooth. And so, yeah, if you start missing phone calls, like a lot of phone calls, you miss one every now and again, that's one thing. But you start missing multiple phone calls a day, or you're not able to get to appointments, or then you need to start looking into and you've done all the organizing, you've tried to do everything you can, and then you might need to start looking into getting somebody on board. You need to make sure that you got to understand. One truck, you're gonna start making some money. As a solo guy, I'm not making much money. Please don't think that it sounds like it's kind of more than what it is, because there's some months I'm usually around no less than $6,500 a month, but then there's other months where I'm hitting around 10 or 11. I'm blessed, and I'm thankful. I'm very, very thankful, but it just depends on the month, right? So yes, you can make some money, but you understand that once you get to that, or as a solo guy, you'll start to get that, and you'll start making a little bit more money. You don't be surprised to have 15, 16K every single month, or 10 to 12, 10 to 15K every single month, and you can do that as a solo guy. And understand, once you bring that, you get that first hire, that number is going to go down a whole lot. You're like, man, I was making some money. Now I'm just trying to keep us afloat, because you're having to pay him or her, and then pay for the truck, pay for the insurance, pay for uniforms. You're paying double the gas. I mean, you're just doing everything times two, right? So, and paying him as well. So that money just goes down. But it gives you the freedom and the time to grow that route. So, I think that you want to make sure that guy can have around 100 to 100, 100 and at the very least 120 accounts per month that he can service. That'll keep him fairly busy. It'll make it worth it for you to hire. If you can only do 80 accounts, man, maybe a 1099 isn't a bad option, or part-time or something like that. You can get creative. That's a good thing about your own business. He might have a day off. He can get creative with it. But full-time guys, you want to make sure that you can pay them, and that is worth it for you guys both. So, but I think I personally have done some numbers. I've talked to others, and I think that right around the 125, 130 account range, once I get to where I know that I have that every single month, then that's when he's coming on board. I'm not quite there yet. I think for May I might have maybe 90 accounts. So I'm not too far from it either. It's like between 80 and 90 accounts. And then, as each month goes on, you add more and more accounts. So hopefully by the end of the summer, I'll have my boy jumping on board, and I'm able to really focus on selling, doing other things, and more content, and we can grow this thing really, really big time. So maybe you guys are there. Let me know what you think. If you've already hired somebody, let me know what it was, what kind of numbers or what things that it got you to the point where you thought, hey, you know what, I need to go ahead and make that higher. But that's kind of what I've gotten to whenever I talk to people. Because I mean, as a technician, I remember there were some technicians who would do 220 accounts, and they would be recognized for all their efforts. You know, they might be working Saturdays and all that, but I think on average there's like 20, 22 working days a month. You know, say you do 10 stops a day, right? You know, that's 200 accounts, maybe 220 accounts with that. But, you know, you're going to be burnt out, especially if you're in Arizona, Texas, California, wherever you're at. You're going to deal with something that's going to, there's humidity on the East Coast. It's going to hurt you, right? But, you know, I used to feel as a technician that, you know, that I could do that 100 to 75 to that 190 range. Even that 200 mark wasn't too bad, you know, because you could front load a little bit and have, you know, maybe 14 stops for that first week, you know, earlier in the week, and then towards the end of the month, because you're going to have people that reschedule and that want to, you know, things like that. But one of the good things about me and my monthly billing, and I recommend for everybody else, is when they're on that monthly billing, they're being billed every single month, so you're not going to get any skips. So you're always doing services whenever you're paying, as they pay for the service, and they're like, no, let's not do it today. And you can try to talk them into it, but maybe they're like, no, I don't want to do it today. I don't want to pay that $120. But if you have them on that monthly billing, they've already paid that $40 every single month because it's auto pay, and so. There's like, okay, yeah, they know about it. They don't argue it because they've already paid for it, you know. So that's a big one for me. That's something I always recommend. But again, you know, you will have reservices, weather delays, all those things will factor into it. So, but if you can get, say, 150 accounts done, you know, in the first, you know, 2 weeks or so, you know, the last 2 weeks are a lot more chill. That third week of the month, you can do 8 or 9 stops. You know, space it out, have it chill, and then that last week you might have days where you don't have any stops to do. You can help somebody else on their route. You can do truck maintenance. You can try to focus. You always want to do learning and excuse me, training and all that. You know that so. Being able to do that, so that 100 and, you know, like I said, 175 to 200 accounts a month range is where I would like to be, you know, for all of my technicians. There's going to be companies out there that can do more. They might have their guys doing 15 to 17, but again, I mean, that's what I say now. It could change as things go on, but I also know that, you know, I'm not the guy who needs to make millions and millions and millions. That's not me. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to grow this into $1 million company, but I want to make more. But I want to make sure that my guys are taken care of. I want to make sure that my family's taken care of, and I want to help people. So if my profit margins are, you know, I want to have solid profit margins. Don't get me wrong. At the end of the day, this is business. You know, would I be happy to make $200,000? Absolutely. You know, who wouldn't? You know, of course I want to make it. But, you know, if I had to make only $175,000 to make sure that my guys were happy and doing other things and invest in my guys and into my business, and I'm okay with that as well. You know, $150,000, as long as my family's taken care of and my guys are taken care of, that is the most important thing to me. But anyways, you know, I've got more stuff. You know, stay tuned. You know, this is going to be more videos coming out. I have a whole lot. You know, I do. But I'm usually making long videos, and I try to get it all out in one video. But I'll slow it down. I'll make another video about. Well, I was talking about my 2-year mark, right? 185 accounts, whatever it is. I'm making usually around, on average, between $7,000 and $8,000 a month in sales. what is it? And a lot of that's on auto pay, or a couple of that, a good bit of that's on auto pay. Then I got a lot of customers from other companies that are pay as you go or pay as you service, but again, they're on auto pay, so their cards are on file. I make sure to always say that my the card is required. Um, let's see. 142 reviews. I'll get that up. I'll definitely get that up for sure. I'll get to 150 definitely by the end of May, but hopefully even in the first week of May or something. Summer's getting here. It's starting to get hot. Take care of yourself, everyone. I know I'm not anyone to talk because I'm not a little guy by any means, but I'll be honest. I do hit the gym Monday through Friday. I know I ran enough in the Marine Corps, and I ain't fucking running from anybody right now, right? So I don't work out my legs. I just work up my, I'm trying to impress my wife. So I just do shoulders, arms, chest. I'm trying to eat right. And what I'm getting at though is you all need to be making sure that you're taking care of yourself. Make sure you get enough protein. I do the Core 42s. Man, these things are awesome. It tastes delicious. Eat right, you guys. I know me personally, I'll be 36 next month, and I just we're trying to eat right. My wife and I, that's all we're doing. Is she's lost a lot of weight. She looks fantastic, and I'm trying to be healthy. I know that the summer is just it gets brutal, and so. Take care of yourself, guys. I've seen it way too much. Guys will get burnt out and from business, and they'll leave. You might lose a really good guy because he's burnt out because he's just not taking care of himself and he's being worked hard. So make sure you take care of yourself. And if you already have a team, if you have guys out there working for you, especially take care of them. As you know, there's companies that are all about. They want to have their polos, button-ups, for uniforms. We're here in Texas. I've got the long sleeve fishing shirt. I think that this is great. You can go on like the Swifty shirts or something like that, or on Amazon, and just get a plain one and order those for, a few dollars. They're like $6-7, right? And then the good thing is my wife, she's super creative as well. If you know her, she did my logo and everything. The sign I actually had a cousin do, but she makes my shirts for me, right? She has a press and all that stuff. So if your wife has a Cricut machine and an ironing board, she can help you out and do those things. But notice that there's going to be some of them that might come off a little bit easier after a couple months of wear, but you're only paying $6, and it's a really cheap way to make sure that your shirts are branded. I got my hats branded. I've gone through different ideas when it comes to my logo and to my uniforms and all that, and I've made changes. But what I was getting at was it's heat, it's hot. Get these, I recommend these. They're the fishing shirts. They're lightweight, breathable. Sorry, kick the stand. And then I don't recommend jeans. Some of you guys might wear blue jeans. I don't recommend wearing blue jeans. One, it's hot. Two, it doesn't look as professional. Personally, I think. Where you can wear brown khaki pants. Like you can go to Walmart and get like the Wrangler ones. Like they're like real lightweight, and they're nice. It just looks a little bit more professional in my opinion. And what I've even been doing is I got some pants off Amazon, and I got some white shirts like this, and I'm wearing my tennis shoes. I saw it from other pest control companies doing it. They're just like, listen, we're modern. We're not dressing. We're not doing that. We want our guys to be comfortable. We want our guys to feel comfortable, and they still look good. It's branded stuff, but it looks like almost workout gear. It's literally a shirt like this with black pants and the tennis shoes. And I did it. I've done it a few days. I love it. I'm like, man, I think about like, what's everyone gonna say? Like, what are they gonna think? Like, does it look professional? Man, these people, they get it. It's hot. I haven't had anybody say, hey, that doesn't look professional, or I haven't had any issues with it. I still like to wear my polos, short sleeve, and I wear sleeves to cover my arms whenever I'm doing stuff, but I do the polos, but I also wear a lot of these. And so take care of yourselves, guys, with your nutrition and your health, and then with what you're doing, take care of your team. Hook them up. It feels really, really nice to wear these things, the Magellan shirts. Real lightweight shirts that look good, and then whenever they do look good like that and they feel good in them, they'll rock it everywhere else as well. So that's one thing you got to realize. Like, I wear my confidence hat all over the place. The guy that I'm going to be bringing on board, he has 2 confidence hats, and it's funny because his fiance is always sending pictures to us about, with him wearing his hat out wherever they're at. And so I'm like, that's cool. People are going to see that stuff whenever you have a shirt like. Instead of just having it little like I did on some of the other ones, on all my white shirts, it's just going to have confidence, pest control. Literally the logo up there, just on my shirt. But whenever it feels good, lightweight, the guys love it. Again, they wear it out in town, and now, believe it or not, it's branding. Everybody is seeing your stuff, so I'm happy to do so. I'm happy to invest into and very, very, very cheap stuff. But great results from it. So that's another way to stay warm for you guys, or to stay cool for you guys. I know I can be all over the place, but I'm excited about making more videos. I'm excited about getting back in front of the camera making videos. And I was just talking about things that I see around me. Like I said, the core, I'm working out. I'm trying to stay healthy. I've been hitting the gym pretty consistently for about 6-7 weeks now. A couple months now, so I'm good about that. I just need to make sure that I'm eating, and I'm eating pretty well for the most part, but I just need to make sure that I'm eating better, and make sure you have liquid IVs on your truck. I'll make another video on all the must-haves for summertime, but until then, stay tuned, you guys. Thank you so much for everything, for all the likes, all the subscriptions, all the new subscriptions, all the love, all the follows, all that good stuff, you guys. It means the world to me. I hope you can find some value in this video, and you can look forward to the videos upcoming, because I will be showing you what my truck looks like for all the new subscribers. If those of you who are getting ready to start your businesses or just starting, I'll show you. You've seen the videos in the past, what it used to look like, how my truck is now over the years, how it's changed. Even from the outside, the logos to my storage systems, all that good stuff. I'll have that video. I'll work on some of that today. I don't plan on being anywhere but home, so I can work on some of that stuff for you guys. But until you see those videos, and until next time, keep going out there, keep working on those pest control and those lawn care businesses. Keep growing, keep grinding. But the most important thing, and I say this because it's been brought up a few times, I heard a wife tell her husband, she said, dude, just quit questioning yourself. Just be more confident. So stay, keep that in mind, in business and in life, do things, feel good about everything. But confidence comes with experience. So get after it. Go get it done. And like I said, you will, as always, stay confident. Take care.